My last day daylight savings time. Daylight savings time can really goof up your time card. It was of course that time again. An extra hour. Time clock already changed. We are told we work that hour and then when it comes around again we get out an hour early. Okay, I don't trust them, yet really have no choice. I found a better job. I do the right thing and put in a 2-week notice. The main manager, I call her MM, wasn't there. I put my notice into Mr. Big the number 2. I'm told he'll tell him since she's on vacation currently. I trust him to do his job. This is important later. So, 2 weeks go by. It's my last day. Also happens to be the get out an hour early day, right. Nope, is there. I never said that. No, Mr. Big said if we stayed that extra hour we get it back now. By leaving an hour early. She stares at me, smiled, and says, if you leave I'll fire you. Now remember it's my last day. I'm tired, sore, and rather ticked over this hour. So I look at MM and say, well, since it's my last day I think I'll just go. Guess who never told him that I put my notice in? Yeep, Mr. Big, and she'd been back a week already. Her reply is, what? You never put your notice into me. I told Mr. Big because you were on vacation. He assured me he would tell you. She replies, I was on vacation and he didn't tell me so it didn't count. By this point I'm on my way to the time clock. I'm done with this K-store. I get my coat, punch out and head for the door. Hearing him say, you'll never work here again. Quote, was that supposed to hurt me LMAO? However, this is important for the next K-store story. I'll do that one next, lol. Again, thank you for taking the time to read my story. You'll never work here again. Yeah, I know, that's the point. She sounds like the type that thinks, I'll never shop here again, is a threat. Hearing him say, you'll never work here again. Quote. Me. You're not making the persuasive argument you think you are making. If you put in your 2 weeks and work them without incident hours, should be happy to rehire you. That's like half the training costs for them. He didn't tell me so it didn't count. Guess you'll have to fire me by a quote. You should have let them fire you. Unemployment, maybe a lawsuit, compensation, etc. I've only worked hourly at places that weren't 24/7 operations. They manually adjusted the time clocks to account for DST only while the business was closed. That way they didn't have to adjust people's punches any. Seemed like an easy way to handle it. You'll never work here again. I was told that. I pointed at the HR woman and started laughing. She was so mad, shaking and cursing her boss chewed her out in front of everybody. In my country, it counts if you have resigned to a higher up or HR. Their job is to inform manager the. I worked as a temp when we had to work that extra hour. But I didn't work there when it was less. Even though it's 40+ years ago, I still feel cheated. You'll never work here again. Don't threaten me with a good time. You'll never work here again. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of quitting. I get my coat, punch out and head for the door. Hearing him say, you'll never work here again. Quote. That's right. Quote. Oh, a sequel. I hope it's just as good. And no Jar Jar. Many years ago I was working for the city of Camden, NJ as a Y2K consultant for the assistant business administrator, basically 2 steps down from the mayor, whose business cards literally had his nickname in quotes between his first and last name. They stopped paying their bills. So my boss pulled me. Abba called my boss the next day and said that is I want back there by 9 a.m. the following day. He's see to her that I never worked on the city of Camden again. My response was to, jokingly, beg my boss to not send me back. They weren't going to anyway. Turned it to be a good thing. Because 3 weeks later is when the feds served simultaneous search warrants on the mayor's home and office. On a related note, the one time I met the mayor on a walkthrough of the offices. At lunch afterwards, my coworker and I asked each other, am I the only one who needs to take a shower after just being in the same room with him? He was later convicted on 14 of 19 counts of corruption.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.